Today's the day, my fellow DC fans. Today is the day. Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Smash the like button if you love me. Please subscribe if you're new. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed before, be charitable and give a struggling YouTuber a follow. You know, look at me. I'm a nice enough guy. Just ignore my hot takes and you actually like me. And please comment. Please have your say. A very warm welcome to Tuesday's edition, auspicious, huge version of the DC Universe Daily. I am Mick, your host with the most, your all fault, your biggest authority on anything DC live action. Did I actually say all fault? What does that mean? Your authority on DC. Come on, everyone. I'm just a DC fan. Let's get talking. So, yes, today is the day. Today, either it's already happened by the time this video is uploaded or at some point today. It's the world premiere of the much maligned, controversial The Flash movie starring the controversial actor Ezra Miller. The world premiere today at CinemaCon, and at some point also they're going to release a second trailer for us to see. As soon as that's available, I will post a reaction here on my platform. And if that's not enough for you, Warner Brothers are allowing Access Media to have public reactions to the world premiere of The Flash. There'll be no spoilers, but they're going to tell you, it's official, they're going to tell you what they thought of the movie and what the reactions of the room at large will be. Now, you and I both know that we can't trust Access Media. How many films have you seen in the past 20 years where you've heard a positive reaction, but you've hated the movie? If you hated The Last Jedi, well, they gave positive reactions to that movie. If you hated The Rise of Skywalker, they told you it's the best movie ever. You can't trust Access Media because they have access, right? They cannot be trusted. So why are we excited about this huge, auspicious day today at CinemaCon in Las Vegas? Because in a couple of reactions, you will get the fucking truth for one or two. And I will look out for these honest reactions and it will be interesting. So, this is a film that was greenlit many, many years ago with one director, then another two directors. It never happened. So, it happened eventually with Andy Muschietti. Wow, it's a big day for Andy Muschietti. Everyone's forgetting about Andy in the melee. A big struggle for Andy with who he had to work with. Let's be honest, mentioning no names, hey Ezra. But yeah, I mean, this guy, I think, has put a good movie together. But what will the public think? What will Access Media think? It's going to be interesting what happens when this movie is actually released. Warner Brothers Discovery are giving it its world premiere today because they believe, not necessarily believe in the movie, but believe that this movie is the real deal and can make money for them. Lots of money. I'm hearing Zaslav is looking at around $1.5 billion, $2 billion. Yep, he's very, very eager to make a lot of money out of this movie. And for the first time since he's taken over Warner Brothers, he believes he has a DC movie that he can use as a vehicle to be this huge box office tentpole. But is he right or wrong? Well, I wouldn't trust David Zaslav's judgment too much. This is the CEO who thinks it's a good idea to reboot one of the biggest film franchises of all time in Harry Potter. So, and take it away from movie theatres. I mean, I'm talking about it every day now because I just can't believe anyone would be stupid enough to do this. But as I say, it's such a big day, everyone, and I think nobody should underestimate what a huge day is for this studio, for DC Studios, for Ezra Miller's future as this character. Because it doesn't really matter what plans James Gunn's got and what plans James Gunn doesn't have. this movie makes money, Ezra Miller is your future James Gunn, whether you want them there or not. Facts, right? So it's an interesting day. Will we get the Gods and Monsters slate today as well? If we do, this will be the place where we analyse every single letter, every single word, every single new title on that slate, and then we'll judge that slate as a whole. So it really is huge. I wish I was there to see the finished article of the Flash movie with everyone else. And it's not just the Flash movie that's going to be catalogued there, you know, and shown to distributors. Now, the rest of the stuff, I think I'm hearing that, you know, distributors may get to see half an hour of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom as well. But today is the Flash's day. There's no question about it. Now, I don't understand the time difference between where I am here in Cyprus or in Europe or in the UK between Las Vegas, America. So I don't know what the time difference is. I do know that the Flash movie will have its world premiere on Tuesday morning, Las Vegas time. Now, what the differences are, it may be you know, while this video's just uploaded and you're watching the premiere of this video, or maybe you're just watching this video randomly 60 years in the future and I'm dead. Thank fuck for that. So I don't have to go through this anymore. All these disappointing DC movies, all this divisive conversations. But look, let's be absolutely clear about something else as well. A lot of people keep on attacking Snyderverse stands for complaining about Henry Cavill's removal as Superman. Let's be absolutely clear here. Henry Cavill's Superman fandom goes beyond, well, and beyond outside of the Snyderverse. This guy's version of Superman has a lot of fans outside the Snyderverse fandom. And they're promising to boycott The Flash and every DC live-action piece of content in the future, which could potentially hurt James Gunn's new DC plan, which wouldn't be great for David Zaslav and his bottom line, because he has to answer to shareholders, mainly the AT&T shareholders, who have got more shares in the company than Discovery. Zaslav and Discovery were brought in because AT&T felt they were the best people to save their bacons. Now, personally, I don't know why AT&T didn't completely sell to Comcast. So clearly they still wanted a foothold in this studio, which is a mistake, because I believe this studio is going to Comcast in the end. And I think next year is when that party begins, and maybe we can have a DC and Nintendo crossover. How crazy would that be, right? Not that it's something I particularly want. It'd be funny though, wouldn't it? Anyway, so yeah. So I can't wait to come back on this platform and talk about the reactions we're going to get for the Flash movie. Finally. This is going to be the movie's big reaction. So normally you get the kind of world premiere somewhere like Leicester Square or somewhere in America, right? Well, this time it's at CinemaCon. I think this is the biggest world premiere of a movie for a very, very long time. And this is a studio desperate for a DC win and to make money. We've still got to wait till right through to the end of April, right through to May, then June, then we finally go to the cinema and sample the finished, finalized version of the Flash movie. And some will go and see it, some won't go and see it, but it's certainly a very, very interesting situation. And for the first time in a long time, James Gunn has been very quiet. Well, he hasn't been very quiet if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. He's promoting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But I don't think it's possible for him to be at CinemaCon today. But will the rest of that slate be released? Is Peter Safran at CinemaCon? I'm assuming he's the one who's going to be there with David Zaslav. David Zaslav not only will be there, he will address these theatrical distributors and Access Media as well. So it's a huge day for him, but for us DC fans, it's the world premiere of the Flash movie, and those reactions coming on Twitter later on after that world premiere has been viewed in its entirety will be very, very interesting. Let's see who's honest and who's dishonest. You're going to hear people saying, best movie ever. You're going to hear people sometimes being honest. What would they say about Ezra Miller? What would they say about Sasha Calle? Would they want to see more of Michael Keaton's Batman? Will there be more leaks from the movie? Because someone is going to be leaking stuff. Because it isn't just Access Media and movie distributors there. There's people like Matt Ramos, aka Soups. Now, personally, I don't think it's fair that he gets to go there, but he's got the followers, so he can go because he can tell you what a great movie it is, and because he's got a lot of fans and followers and subscribers, that's what WB want. They've got access, they want to keep access. That's why you can't trust the opinion of even one member of Access Media. As I say, I think 75% of reactions, positive reactions for movies are wrong. We got a very positive reaction for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Does that mean the film's going to make $2 billion at the global box office? No. Does it mean it's particularly a good movie? No. It doesn't mean that just because I hear it on the internet. Oh yes, this movie's had positive reactions. It must be good, right? You can go and see it now. No. Positive reactions don't mean anything when we've seen the kind of positive reactions Access Media give. Access Media are very disingenuous people who really like to get their tongues up those arse cracks as far as possible. And sorry for being so crude. I don't know any other way to say it to you, to explain it to you. I want you to be educated in the way this game works, how the entertainment industry works. I want you to know what I know. I want you to have knowledge of what I have knowledge of, which is that this is a dishonest, corrupt, disingenuous industry run by one community of people who lie that they're quite happy to represent and include outsiders, which is not the truth, right? We've heard a blistering bunch of revelations from Tamara Morrison, who plays Boba Fett in the show Boba Fett and in The Mandalorian. According to him, if it is from him, and I think it is, he was meant to be in Mando Season 3, but they cut him to cut costs, right? So if you're a Star Wars fan, again, you're scratching your head at the treatment of this wonderful property that the brilliant, groundbreaking, revolutionary genius George Lucas created, and they are fucking shitting on it. Exactly what WB are doing with DC. So you can't trust them. The best way to find out if the Flash movie is a good movie is not if I like it. You go and see it with your own eyes and make your own minds up. And I'm desperate to know what you, my subscriber, my viewer, each one of my viewers think of this. You can at me, at Movies TV Mad, if you're at CinemaCon today. If you're at CinemaCon today, why don't you give me a DM and let me know what the reactions around the room were and all of that. And we'll talk about it here together on the next DC Universe Daily as well, because I want to know as much of what's going on in that room while that movie's being viewed as possible, because it is a DC movie. It is a very exciting day. And we're getting a trailer for the movie as well, I think, after they finished viewing it. So it's a big day of hype for this movie. This is my view. I want this movie and all DC movies, bad, middling, or crap, or good, or great, to do well. We want DC to do well. We want movies to make money so they can keep on making DC movies. Because one day, it's going to be one flop too far. And they'll just give up and not make DC movies for a very long time. Nobody wants that. Well, we live in a great time if we're DC fans right now, because this year we've had the first of 4 DC movies being released. Now, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Black Adam weren't the greatest, but they were solid movies. And now we get this gigantic Flash multiversal movie based on Geoff Johns' graphic novel, Flashpoint. So it's an amazing thing that we're getting anything near a Flashpoint adaptation released in theatres in just over a month's time. That is huge, massive. Now, I know it's not a faithful adaptation of Flashpoint, but it is basically a kind of a Flashpointy movie. So that's an exciting thing. And hopefully, when you lot go and see the movie, you enjoy it. And I want to know what you think. As I say, if you are at CinemaCon today, you do get to see this video. Let me know what you thought of the experience, and let me know the truth of people's reactions, and let me know what you thought of the movie yourself. And once it's released, please at me, at Movies TV Mad, oh dear, at Movies TV Mad, and let me know. And also comment on this video once you've seen the movie in June, and let me know what you thought about it. Of course, there'll be a full review on this channel on the Flash movie at the right time. It is the next DC movie, so it is something we're going to be covering very, very heavily. There's going to be a trailer today, obviously. The TV spots are going to be coming when we get closer and closer to the release of that movie. So, as I say, it's a huge day. Now, Matt Ramos has been posting some pictures at CinemaCon. We've got like a kind of a mannequin, is that how you say it? A mannequin of the Blue Beetle costume. So we've seen photos of that, obviously. We've had the posters of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. There's a lot going on. You know, it is a huge, I think this is one of my favourite, you know, events, CinemaCon, because even though the main one is San Diego Comic-Con, this is a big one, because they're talking to movie theatrical distributors. That's important. They need those people's confidence, because they need them to pay top dollar for their movies. So it's very, very important, and that's why David Zaslav is there. And I can smell a stench of desperation in Zaslav being there as well. As I say, it's very rare for a CEO of a studio to be there, but at the end of the day, they are in debt, they are in trouble. It's not a good time to run or own Warner Brothers right now. As I say, they don't make a lot of money. They haven't been successful. It's a bit like Disney. They're all in trouble because they've made bad business decisions. The act of a consumer-based business is to please the consumer. And when you stick one finger up at the consumer, you're in trouble. Because I think the thought process around Hollywood for the past 20 years has been, they will come whatever we do and how we treat them. And that is not how retail and consumer-based businesses work. Yes, the entertainment industry is the retail industry because you need the public to purchase something from you. And it's not rocket science. If you give them shit, if you abuse your customer, you're gonna lose money. And they're now starting to wake up to that reality. It's a reality they should have understood all along. Look what's happened to the DCEU. You abused your customers. Zack Snyder had a certain amount of fans. His movies didn't make any losses. Yes, they didn't make the money you wanted them to, but they made money. And you just had to be patient, but you abused his fans. You called them part of toxic fandoms. You abused those people, and they left you, and they're boycotting your movies because internet fans who talk about DC on Twitter don't go to the movie theatres, but Snyderverse fans are. And do, when it's the right movie, and studios and directors don't abuse them. These are passionate fans, whether you like them or not. They're all going to be at SnyderCon 2 this weekend, supporting that director. The, huge Q&As on Man of Steel. I think BVS. I'm not sure about the Snyder Cut as well, but a huge weekend. So it is a huge week to be a DC fan. And if you're either at CinemaCon or SnyderCon 2, you are very, very lucky, DC fans, and I'm very, very jealous and envious of you. And in a good way, I wish I could be there. I'm not in America. I can't just pick myself up and go to America for these events. And I know many people living in Europe miss out on these events. And it isn't fair, but America is where these people are based, and this is where they set things up. I think it would have been great for Zack to do a little tour, you know, take the SnyderCon around the world. But he's a busy director, you know. He's finished shooting 2 Rebel Moon movies. He's still got to do a third. He's got to do post-production for those 2 movies as well. The first out of the 2 being released on Netflix at the end of this year. So that's a very exciting situation as well. And so, but it is sad that we miss out. But you won't miss a step here on this platform, I promise you. You'll get this video, obviously. We'll get a trailer 2 reaction for the Flash movie. And I will let you know either on tomorrow's DC Universe Daily about all the reactions from Access Media of the world premiere of the Flash movie, or later on. I may come back if I'm really hyped and I'm in a good mood and, you know, I'm feeling healthy and strong. I may do a live video because, as I say, this is a very, very big day. And it should be a celebratory day to be not just a Flash fan, but a DC fan in general. Jesus Christ, it's the world premiere of a much anticipated movie. A movie with, what, you know, Ezra Miller playing more than one version of his character. We've got Batfleck. We've got Michael Keaton's Batman. We've got Sasha Calle's Supergirl. We're going to see her for the first time. Well, you're going to see her for the first time. I've already seen her, and she was great in the movie. Different to the Supergirl that Mel Benoist played on the CW. Very different. She's really a Flashpoint Superman stroke Supergirl. That's what she is. But you're going to love her. I think you're going to enjoy. I don't think you're going to hate this movie. You may nitpick with little bits of CGI or this or that, like audiences do. I don't think you're going to hate this movie. I think you're going to be upset about the Superman situation, but I personally don't think anyone comes out of this film, well, the version I saw, and thinks, oh, this is a bad movie, man, you know, like a Last Jedi thing, or a Rise of Skywalker, I'm Rey Skywalker, or something like that. But I came out of Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice thinking that critics and fans would be calling this, you know, another The Dark Knight. And how stupid do I sound by even thinking that now? But that's what I thought when I came out of cinemas. I went to an early screening. I was very excited. It absolutely drained me emotionally. I loved BVS, and I thought it was going to be a very successful film, both financially and critically. And I got that absolutely wrong, but I did enjoy that movie. So maybe I'm wrong about what people are going to think about the Flash movie. Maybe you're all going to fucking hate it. I don't want you to hate it. I don't enjoy the negativity, but when it's happening, as a YouTuber, I have to catalogue it, and I have to give you my opinion of the positive and the negative. That's what it's like. We can't have an echo chamber. Maybe that's what I should do, have an echo chamber. Maybe I'd have more viewers, right? Maybe I would. Maybe this channel would actually become profitable. But it's not really about that, is it? It's about being honest with who you are. And I need to be like I am in the real world, to my people in the real world, with you people. You need to know the real me. This is the real me. This is how I talk. This is how I conduct myself. I'm not changing for anyone. If being the real me isn't enough to be a successful YouTuber, then I don't become a successful YouTuber. I get on with my little life. I drink alcohol. I smoke cigarettes. I drink Nescafe. I drink tea. I have sex with a lot of gorgeous women. You know, I do what I want to do, right? And, yeah, I come, you know, and I talk to you people at the end of the day. It's fun. So we have to be ourselves. And if we can't be ourselves in life, there's no point. So this is how I feel about entertainment. This is how I feel about DC. And today I'm feeling very, very excited on another beautiful Cyprus morning. We're coming to the end of April. The temperature is rising, which is really good. And the temperature is rising for DC and David Zaslav as well. So that's very, 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 very important, everyone, that we get with that and, realize how important today is. And if you love DC, and if you care about DC as much as I do, especially these characters, whose crest I wear proudly on my chest every day on this channel, it does matter. We do want DC to be, made in the right way. And we want people who actually care about DC. We need people running DC who care about it more than they care about their own egos. Mentioning no names again, James Gunn, right? James Gunn's a talented lad. He can make DC a mainstream, successful live action studio. He can, if he makes the right decisions, by representing Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman in the right way, by bringing smaller characters to the screen, like Static Shock. Now, he's promised he is looking at that side of DC, because there was big plans for Static Shock via Michael B. Jordan. Obviously, those plans are going to change, and James and Peter will have their ideas on how to do it. Now, very, very important, because Static Shock is very important in terms of the representation and inclusion side. You don't really want to corner Static Shock on HBO Max. You want to be proud of that universe. You want to be proud of that character. Put him on cinema screens like Marvel Studios did with Black Panther. And that first movie was tremendous. It did really well at the box office. You either got to be honest and genuine about representation and not do what Lucasfilm did to John Boyega when they were selling that film, to China, and put him at the back of the poster. Despicable, because we know the views in China. Now, I know it's about money, but as I've just spoken about this YouTube channel, business and ambition is all very well. But at the end of the day, stop pretending, Hollywood, you're moral people when you're not, right? That's the point. Stop calling your customers racist when you're actually a lot more racist than any of your customers. That's the point. Be genuine. So, I will be back again to react to the reactions of the Flash movie world premiere. What a day today is. What will Access Media make of this film? Is David Zaslav going to get the reactions that he wants? Is it going to be the hit that he wants it to be? And will you, the public, love this film? I really hope you do, because it's been a long time coming. What's sad about this film is, though, it's not really part of the future, apart from the new timeline it enables, which is James Gunn's new timeline. Personally, I think if it makes money, you've got to embrace this movie a lot more than they're planning to. That's what I've said before. If it's successful. Now, I've spoken about the Sasha Calle Supergirl thing before as well. I don't think James Gunn wants to use Sasha as his Supergirl, but if she's that popular in the movie, and I think she's going to get a lot of positive shout-outs in today's world premiere, by the way, because I certainly liked what we got from her. I found her very relatable. I found her performance very relatable. So if James Gunn was to ignore that popularity, that would be a bit of a problem. But we'll see how people receive her, how Access Media receive her on today's world premiere. So it's a very complicated situation. This is why they're doing a wait-and-see scenario to see what they're going to use in James Gunn's new DC universe. Because when a movie's successful, they will say, okay then. He's already said that. Not in terms of being successful, but he said there's an opportunity for all the leads of all this year's movies to be involved in the new universe. Now, maybe Zachary Levi will still be involved, but I don't think it's looking good for him, considering how badly that film did in theatres. And Black Adam, the same thing. But the Flash movie, if it's successful, yes, a big, big future. And if you're very upset with Ezra Miller and this film's successful, I'm sorry, Ezra Miller would have some kind of future. I still think you can use Ezra Miller as the main Barry Allen, but bring in other versions of the Flash and put them front and center. You can still do this situation really responsibly, and I think probably that's the direction James Gunn will go in. This has been Tuesday's edition of the DC Universe Daily with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, smash the like button if you love me. Have your say. Why not subscribe if you're new? And I will be back either later on a live or tomorrow with those huge reactions from Access Media of the world premiere of the Flash movie. It's huge, everyone. Keep it here at Movies TV Mad, and we'll keep it huge for you. Isn't that right, ladies? Anyway, I'll see you later. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.